my name is Sam, and I run the Instagram account STEM357, and I also run the TikTok account 357SAM357, which is also my personal Instagram, and I'm also a freshman at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So ever since I first started my YouTube channel, my #1 most requested video was to do a how to get into UNC video. So I was accepted into UNC as the class of 2024, so I thought I'd just start by sharing all the general stats of my incoming class, and then I'd get into the nitty-gritty of my own personal scores, essay topics, letters of recommendation, and all of that good stuff. Alright, so here are the general stats of my incoming class of 2024. Alright, so out of 47,607 applications, only 5,303 people were admitted, giving UNC an acceptance rate in the low 20%. 49% of my incoming class served as the president of a class or club, 33% captained a varsity team, 36% conducted research outside of class, 74% were in the top 10% of their class, and 92% were in the top 20% of their class. The average SAT scores were between a 1320 and a 1500. The average GPA was a 4.7 on the 4.0 scale, and the top 5 intended majors were biology, business, psychology and neuroscience, computer science, and political science, respectively. And another interesting fact is that 20% of my class were first-generation college students. Alright, so now for some general information on myself. So I was homeschooled my entire life, but I started dual enrollment at a local community college when I was 15 years old. And at the community college, I found my passion for mathematics, so I ended up taking the entire college-level calculus sequence before I graduated high school, along with some other college-level mathematics classes, and I was able to enter college with over 50 college credits. And so, for my general stats, I had a 4.0 unweighted, 5.0 weighted high school GPA. I was #1 in my class, but I was homeschooled, so, I just had to put class ranking. And for SAT score, I've actually never told anyone my SAT score, and I intend on keeping it that way. But in case you're wondering, the average scores on the reading and writing portion for UNC are between a 640 and a 720, and on the math portion is between a 630 and a 740. And I was accepted as an in-state student, but I was accepted from Wake County, which I've been told is one of the more competitive counties just because of the sheer number of applications. So I applied through the common application, and so I'm going to be reading off my various answers from the different sections in the common application. So for honors, I was in the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, the National Society of Leadership and Success, the National Society of High School Scholars, the Society for Physics Students, and Sigma Pi Sigma Physics Honor Society. I was a 2019 Coca-Cola Leaders of Promise Scholar. I also won several other scholarships, and I participated in several mathematics competitions where my team placed in the top 2. Alright, so for the activities section, I was the teen ambassador to my town. My family was a Wake County foster family for over 8 years, and I was also a Wake County foster family recruitment ambassador. I was the president and secretary of the math club at my community college. I was also the SGA representative of the math club at my community college. I was extremely involved in my church. I was on the Fellowship Activities Committee, I was a Sunday School administrator, and also helped plan and organize my church's VBS. I owned an online business. I was a mathematics tutor to students in my community. And yes, I also put on there that I was the founder of the Instagram account STEM357. Alright, so essays. So for my long Common App essay, I wrote about my experience as the oldest foster sister in my family, and I recounted the experience of having my 4 relatives come and live with my family. And I carried the central theme of foster care throughout all of my essays. And the specific essay topics I chose to write for UNC were, what about your background will help you contribute to the education of your classmates at UNC, and tell us about a peer who has made a difference in your life. And I also wrote several other essays that highlighted my passion for mathematics. Letters of recommendation. So I had 3 letters of recommendation. 2 were from college professors at the community college that I went to. I had taken them both twice for various levels of mathematics, and so I got to know them very well. I also had a personal recommender who was able to attest to my work ethic and overall demeanor. They had known me my entire life, and I'm extremely thankful to those 3 people who wrote my letters of recommendations. If you are watching, thank you so much. So here's some just general words of advice if you're considering applying to UNC. If your SAT scores or GPA is slightly lower than average, don't sweat it. UNC greatly prides themselves on evaluating applicants as a whole, so you can totally make up for lower SAT scores or whatever that may be by having stellar extracurriculars or letters of recommendation. So focus on finding those volunteering opportunities, focus on obtaining leadership positions in your school and in your community. Of course, focus on your grades and your SAT scores, but overall, remember, don't sweat it. You're going to do just great. You're going to end up where you're meant to be. One more thing, if you do get into UNC, you're going to want to stock up on your Carolina blue because that's all anyone wears on campus.